I believe the Royal Rumble is the most exciting WWE PLE of all time. You think about the surprise factors you can get, the match quality, the moments, just all the stuff combined, especially leading into WrestleMania when you're on the road to WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble is my all-time favorite WWE pay-per-view, and I'm going to tell you what I believe are the top 10 greatest Royal Rumble matches of all time. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we start, you got to make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment below, and turn on the notifications to be updated with all pro wrestling content right here on this channel, and to be updated when we go live every single Sunday, and I mean every single Sunday, for the No Name Wrestling Podcast, 5 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. We do allow the subscribers and viewers to come on the show from time to time to chat with us and engage with us, have friendly conversations, even debate with us. Let's dive into my list, and this list is also in no particular order. I'm just going to name the 10 Royal Rumbles I think are the best just by year. So we're going to start with the 1992 Royal Rumble. Possibly still to this day, maybe the most stacked Royal Rumble in WWE history. You had so many legends in this match. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, just countless of people in this match that are now either legends that weren't back then, or you look back and say, dang, all these people were in this match, man. Very old school type match, and the 1992 Royal Rumble is still one of the greatest of all time. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, you go check it out. Gotta have, obviously, the 2001 Royal Rumble, which for some people is still the GOAT Royal Rumble. I mean, you had megastars in here like Rock and Austin. You also had other great stars in here that contributed. This is the Royal Rumble that Kane dominated, eliminating 11 superstars as well, and held that record for the most eliminations in a single Rumble match for over a decade before it got broken a couple times, I believe. I think it's got broken a couple times, since then. But Kane, established his dominance in this match, and there are many people still to this day that are upset that Kane actually didn't win this Royal Rumble. They felt this was his match to win and not Stone Cold Steve Austin's. But then you think about it, if Kane wins this match, we don't get Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 17, and that's one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. And some people consider WrestleMania 17 to be the GOAT Mania. 2001 all around was a spectacular year for WWE in general, but there's things to take in consideration as far as who should have won this match, who deserved to win this match, was the right decision, and I believe Stone Cold Steve Austin was the correct decision for where they were going forward, leading into WrestleMania to win this Rumble match. This is still my all-time personal favorite Royal Rumble match, and it is the 2005 Royal Rumble. Hands down, no question, this is a top 10 Royal Rumble of all time. The opening match with the first two superstars starting was great. Daniel Puder, the guy who won Tough Enough, comes in at number 3, and for 5 minutes straight, he got tortured, bro, by every WWE superstar that came in, bro. They beat this man down, but then again, he kind of had it coming, man. If you know the backstory, Google is free. You got to research it yourself, man. Daniel Puder got tortured in this match, bro. And I don't think he was around too much longer after that in WWE. But this match also had crazy moments. The Raw and SmackDown face-off interaction, letting it know that the brand actually mattered, what brand you were on. And this is, before they added, the wild card rule and everything they got going on right now. The brand split doesn't matter now, but back then, the brand split mattered. It mattered a lot back then. Muhammad Hassan was such a huge heel and had so much potential to be one of the best heels of all time. He comes in the ring and gets jumped by the Raw and SmackDown superstars. They united because they couldn't stand that guy, got rid of him. The Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels storyline for WrestleMania started in this match when Kurt Angle got eliminated by Shawn Michaels, and then Kurt Angle came back in the ring and took Shawn Michaels out and hit him with the steps and made him bleed and everything. That started their feud. And then, of course, the end with John Cena and Batista, the two biggest upcoming stars, are the final two in this match. And at that time, you could feel the energy. These were going to be the next two guys that were going to be future world champions that WWE was going to push in the Ruthless Aggression era to be their next two big stars. And then, of course, the botched finish when both guys accidentally went over the top rope. Vince McMahon coming out and just in a bit of rage, and then tears both his quads, sliding into the ring, and then he sits there, and everybody's confused, what's going on, what's happening. But honestly, it doesn't discredit or take away anything from that match. It just adds more epicness to that match, if you ask me. The 2005 Royal Rumble was just special. I gotta have the 2007 Royal Rumble. Of course, that is a must without a doubt, if you ask me. I mean, you look at the overall people in this match, it just up and down from top to bottom, so many top superstars. The roster was very stacked with a lot of great superstars at that particular time frame. I mean, I rewatched this match so much, I can't even tell you how many times I've rewatched the 2007 Royal Rumble and the ending with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Still to this day, Still to this day, some people will say that is the greatest Royal Rumble match ending of all time. The back and forth action, the anticipation, the unpredictability. Like, this was in San Antonio, Texas, which is Shawn Michaels' hometown. So some people had felt because Triple H had just got injured and DX was kind of splitting up, Shawn Michaels winning the Royal Rumble wouldn't be out of the ordinary. But then The Undertaker and everything, I mean, he is the Phenom for a reason, right? So all around, this was a spectacular match with a sensational ending. And fun fact, Undertaker actually made history this night because he became the first person to actually win the Royal Rumble match from the number 30 spot. Then the next year, the 2008 Royal Rumble, if you ask me, topped the 2007 Royal Rumble. The 2008 Royal Rumble was legendary. This will forever go down as one of the biggest Rumbles and one of the best Rumbles of all time for many reasons that we're going to talk about. I mean, the first two superstars in this match were Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. In the previous year, they were the last two superstars in the Royal Rumble match. Storytelling right there, that was great. The superstars in this match, from Batista to Kane, Triple H, and then the big return of John Cena. Like, John Cena had just got injured in October. Had a torn pec, bro. He was going to be out, they said, for many, many months. He was out of commission, no question about it. He comes back in 3 months tops, healthy as a horse, bro. Comes back and actually wins the Royal Rumble from a torn pectoral muscle 3 months prior, bro. This guy is literally a machine, bro. He might be cyborg, man. Like, half man, half human. This guy is just unbelievable. Like, man, the 2008 Royal Rumble was just great, man. Like, what makes John Cena so special is that if you go back and listen to his return, he got a major pop. But then it didn't take long for the fans to actually start to boo him because they realized, oh, John Cena's back. Like, oh no, like, we're not supposed to like him type stuff. 2010 Royal Rumble I would put on here. This isn't like one of my all-time favorite Rumbles, but I do think it is a top 10 personal Royal Rumble of all time. This had a lot of stuff to it. This is probably also the most slow-paced Royal Rumble of all time, too. The shortest Iron Man won this match. It was Edge, who also had a big return in this match that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough or overshadowed because Edge ended up having a bigger Royal Rumble return, which we'll talk about maybe later in the video, but overall, this was a good match to watch. You know, CM Punk cutting the promo for a while, Beth Phoenix coming in, eliminating the Great Khali. You know, the Shawn Michaels storyline of him being so freaking obsessed with the streak where he wants to end the streak so badly, and Undertaker refusing to accept his challenge for WrestleMania, not because he's a coward, but because Undertaker doesn't have anything to prove by facing Shawn Michaels again. He's been there, done that. He's moving on to other things. So Shawn Michaels says, you know what? I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, and then I'm going to challenge you at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title. Undertaker says, well, that's going to be the only way you get this shot. If you want it, that's how you're going to have to do it. And we'll never forget that the most dramatic elimination in Royal Rumble history, where Shawn Michaels gets knocked off by Batista and he's reaching for the ropes and he almost has the ropes, then he falls down and the commentary is selling it like, oh my gosh, what is Shawn Michaels going to do? And Shawn Michaels' facial expressions, him super kicking the referee and just losing his mind. Like, it meant so much to HBK to win the Royal Rumble for one particular reason. Not even just to go to the main event of WrestleMania. It wasn't even about going to the main event of WrestleMania for Shawn Michaels. It was literally just about taking the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania. And that's honestly what holds a lot of weight for this Royal Rumble being so special. Let's talk about 2018, but particularly let's talk about the men's Royal Rumble match, which I do have on here. The 2018 men's Royal Rumble was just all around spectacular, man. I mean, this had so much people in it with such stacked star power. The big return of Rey Mysterio had some NXT people in here included. Like, all around 2018 Royal Rumble was just very, very good. But to me, I also don't have the 2018 Royal Rumble on here for the men's. I have the 2018 women's Royal Rumble in my top 10 as well. I think the women's was just as good as the men's, if not better. This was the first ever women's Royal Rumble match. And of course, you had all the big epic returns from Lita to Trish to Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool, just all the legends that you were expecting to show up to be a part of this historic event. They were there, and I mean, the winners of Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka were the correct winners. Unfortunately, they both went on to WrestleMania to lose, and, you know, pretty much never was able to recover as far as being the same where the momentum was at. But, you know, that's nor here nor there. That's for a different video, for a different topic, for a different day. Gotta have the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble on here. This really could be the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, just based off the pace, the storytelling. Brock Lesnar entering at number 1 as the WWE Champion. Going into this match, I remember a lot of people were very mad about that decision. Like, why is Lesnar in the Royal Rumble when he's the WWE Champion? But honestly, it made for a bigger purpose and a bigger story that all came around to make sense. Lesnar's in the match. He comes in at number 1, and he's dominating. He's throwing everybody out left and right, and people are getting nervous. Or like, what is going on here? Like, Lesnar is throwing out all these people, Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, like, all these people that are coming in the ring. Doesn't matter who you are, he's tossing them all out. And then Drew McIntyre comes out. And I'll never forget when Ricochet hit Lesnar with that low blow, and then Drew Claymored Lesnar. He goes over the top rope, perfect selling. Brock Lesnar is one of the best sellers in WWE history. He's laying there on the floor, knocked out and stuff, and the pop was crazy. And you knew Drew McIntyre after that he had to win the Royal Rumble. And Edge, of course, had his big return in this match. The final two with Roman Reigns and Drew, and this was also at the time when Roman Reigns was not well received by the fans. He was still the big dog, hadn't turned to the tribal chief yet, and people were even more nervous. Okay, Lesnar's gone, but Reigns is always in the final two of these Rumble matches. You never know what really could happen, but Drew McIntyre ends up winning. Was the correct decision. It was unfortunate that the pandemic would hit that year, and Drew wasn't able to go to WrestleMania and beat Brock Lesnar in front of fans to get that big reaction and big moment. But Drew McIntyre did go into WrestleMania to become WWE Champion, so it was still a moment for him. And last one I have on my list is the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble. A very good, still to me, the best Women's Royal Rumble they've done so far. And there have been some other good ones. 2023 I thought was really good. Even this year, 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, very, very good. Like, I think the correct winners, maybe besides Charlotte Flair in 2020, which is iffy for some people, I think all the correct winners have been the correct ones for every single Rumble. Maybe other than that one, but that's kind of debatable or up in the air for some people, depending on how you feel. But the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble had great action and a great ending too with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. This was the night, if you weren't too familiar with Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair, you had to know this night. These were going to be two women that were going to be propelled to be two of the biggest stars in the women's division for the future. And you see where both are at right now. Rhea Ripley is the most popular women's superstar in the WWE right now, and Bianca Belair, even though she's doing tag team wrestling right now, she's still one of their most valuable stars and can instantly become a world champion at any point in time. Do you agree or disagree with my personal top 10 Royal Rumble matches of all time? If you disagree, let me know in the comments below and let me know a Royal Rumble match that you think I left off the list. There are some other good Royal Rumbles that I do want to mention that I didn't name. 2002 was very good. 2003 is very good. 2004 is also very good, even though that one isn't talked about anymore for obvious reasons. 2006 is another very good one. 2009 to me is maybe the most underrated Royal Rumble match. I think that is a very good Royal Rumble match right there. So, I mean, there are other options out there. Even this year, the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble I thought was good. The men's was pretty solid too. The 2023 men's was pretty solid. And the 2023 women's was pretty good. So there are other options out there. But those are the 10 best that I have. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. And if you want to see more wrestling content on this channel, and you want to see what the podcast of the No Name Wrestling Podcast is looking like, you can click either the podcast channel right here, or you can watch this video for more content.